Every high performer I've ever worked with came to me having already tried the right things. They hired business coaches, they'd done therapy, they read Atomic Habits, they built their morning routine, taken the personality assessments, done the mastermind, done the retreat, and still they couldn't crack what was still there. Why? Because they were treating the right symptoms with the wrong diagnosis. And in performance work, the wrong diagnosis doesn't just fail to help, it actively reinforces the drag. Today, I'm going through the 5 most common misdiagnoses of performance drag, what they look like, why they feel logical, and what's actually going on underneath. Before we go in, I want to say this clearly. This is not an attack on coaching, therapy, or habits. All of those things have genuine value. I use and recommend them. The issue is specificity. When performance drag, a nervous system pattern, is misidentified as something else, the interventions applied don't address the root cause. And sometimes they create new layers of self-blame on top of the original pattern. So let's break down where it goes wrong. Misdiagnosis number 1, I need a better strategy. This is the most common entry point because it feels the most legitimate. When results aren't matching effort, the strategic brain immediately starts auditing the plan. What's wrong with the funnel, the positioning, the salespeople, the pricing, the team structure? And here's the thing. Sometimes there is something wrong with those things. Strategy does matter. But here's the diagnostic question I ask my clients. Have you had a version of this same problem in a previous role, a previous business, a previous relationship? If the answer is yes, and it almost always is, then the through line isn't the strategy. It's the person implementing it. No strategic upgrade survives an unchecked emotional blueprint. You'll run the new strategy through the same nervous system patterns and arrive at a similar ceiling, maybe slightly higher, but capped in the same way. Strategy is a multiplier, but what it multiplies is your operating state. And your operating state is what performance drag lives inside. Misdiagnosis number 2, I have an accountability problem. This one is particularly damaging because it layers shame on top of a system problem. The high performer who keeps not doing the thing they said they'd do often concludes that they need more accountability. A coach, a partner, a tracking system, a consequence structure. And accountability tools can help with execution in the short term. But if the underlying reason you're not doing the thing is a nervous system rule, visibility is dangerous, or success means I'll lose what matters, or I don't deserve to charge that much, then accountability just creates more pressure on top of a blocked system. You end up white knuckling through the behavior change while the root cause stays intact. And then the moment the external accountability structure loosens, the old pattern returns every time. Real accountability lives inside a regulated nervous system. When you're operating from coherence, follow-through isn't a discipline problem. It's the natural expression of aligned action. Misdiagnosis 3. This is just who I am. This is the quiet, resigned version. The one that doesn't call itself a diagnosis because it stopped asking questions. I'm just not good with money. I've always been indecisive. I'm a starter, not a finisher. I'm not naturally confident. I don't like being visible. I don't need that much money. These identity narratives feel like honest self-awareness, and sometimes they contain a kernel of real self-knowledge. But more often, they are the nervous system's most sophisticated protection. If you believe this is who you are, you'll stop trying to change it. And that means no one, including you, will ever push on the place where the real threat is stored. The identity narrative keeps the wound safe by making it structural. This is just me. That is the blueprint protecting itself. None of my clients who came in saying, "I'm just not someone who," turned out to be right. Not one. Misdiagnosis 4. I need to work on my mindset. I want to be precise here because mindset work isn't wrong. It's just incomplete. Cognitive, logical reframing, affirmations, journaling, visualization, these tools work at the level of conscious thought. And conscious thought is maybe 5% of the brain's processing and 5% of your results. Your emotional blueprint runs in the other 95%. So when you sit down and affirm, "I am worthy of wealth and success," your prefrontal cortex hears that. But your amygdala, your brainstem, your body, they have a different file on record. And they run faster than your affirmation. What happens for a lot of clients is that mindset work creates a surface layer of positivity that actually makes it harder to identify the drag. They feel better while the pattern runs beneath. It's like repainting the car without fixing the engine. Sustainable mindset change follows nervous system change, not the other way around. Misdiagnosis 5. I'm burned out and I just need a rest. Rest is real. Burnout is real. I'm not dismissing either one, but I have worked with clients who've taken 6 months off, come back, and within 90 days, were running the exact same patterns that burned them out the first time. Because burnout in many cases is the downstream expression of performance drag that's been running unaddressed for years. The emotional debt accumulates. The invisible ceiling creates sustained frustration. The success without satisfaction hollows out the motivation, and eventually the system crashes. Rest treats the output, but it doesn't clear the code. After rest, if you return to the same operating system, the same blueprint runs the same patterns. And you find yourself 18 months later wondering how you're already burned out again. The correction isn't rest instead of nervous system work. It's rest and nervous system work, so that when you come back online, you're running a different program. The reason I built emotional blueprinting around the nervous system, not strategy, not mindset, not accountability, is because I lived every one of these misdiagnoses. I tried them all, some more than once. And the moment I started working at the level where the actual code lives, things changed fast. Not because it was easy, because for the first time I was working on the right thing. If you've been doing the right things and still hitting the same ceiling, the ceiling isn't about what you're doing. It's about what's running underneath. Take the founder scorecard below. It's the fastest way to see which misdiagnosis might have been keeping your performance drag in place. And if you want to talk through what's specifically driving yours, the diagnostic call is a great place to start. I'll tell you exactly what I see and what it would take to shift it.